Lace 'em up boxing. It's your boy Jordan Larkin speaking, and I was discussing earlier about Julius Indongo phenomenal victory over Ricky Burns. Julius Indongo, he showed that not only can he punch, he can box as well. He showed that he could use his height, his range, and his mobility to get the job done. Of course, a lot of people will probably discredit Julius Indongo. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but that's what I'm gonna say. A lot of people will try to discredit his victory and say that, oh well, Ricky Burns is 34 years old. Well, both of them is 34 years old, but I can see what some people meant by how Ricky Burns was more battle tested, or how he's took so much damage over his career, even though he's never been knocked out. But it was a phenomenal victory. I personally scored the fight 12 rounds to nothing. I tried to give Ricky Burns some rounds where he looked like he was flaring, but I really couldn't give him not one round. And, now Julius Indongo, he does have a mandatory coming up against Sergey Lipics. Now if he does get past Lipics, he has a lot of options for him. He could very well have a money fight if he doesn't even fight Terence Crawford. We can see Julius Indongo versus Adrian the Problem Broner. I think that'd be a good fight. Broner is now walking around 149, 150, so Broner's staying in shape. I feel like Broner can make 140. A very focused Adrian Broner is what people like to call him when he's actually winning fights. I believe that we will see a focused Adrian Broner in that fight, and that fight will make a lot of sense, because I believe that Adrian Broner will take that fight. Is for a championship fight, his first fight back at 140 in over a year, and that fight will make a lot of sense. We very well can see Julius Indongo versus Terence Crawford. Now that will be a good fight as well, since Indongo has unified the titles on the IBO title and the IBF title. That would be a good fight, because that fight very well will determine who's the undisputed champion at 140. Now we know that Terence Crawford has a fight with Felix Diaz at 140. I will be discussing that fight later as well. It's also giving out my predictions. That will be a good fight as well. I believe that fight could very well happen if it gets through Sergey Lipics. Now, we shouldn't look over Sergey Lipics just because he's an undefeated guy. Al Heyman seen him fight. A lot of people seen him fight on PBC. He's a very tough guy. He's been sparring with 168-pound guys. He don't spar with people his own weight class. The guy can hit, he can take a punch, he can box, and that will be a very good fight. And we very well may see Julius Indongo versus Lipics October. Now I believe that fight does make the best of sense, and I can understand why the IBF ordered that fight, because he's been waiting so long for a title shot. But let's say he does beat him, I could see a fight with Indongo versus Terence Crawford happening in the summer next year. I don't think they'll happen this year, because I don't think he'll fight more than twice. I can see, like I said earlier, a fight with Adrian Broner. I could see a fight with Francis Barthélemy. I don't know if I said his name right. I could definitely see a fight where Julius Indongo would definitely have a big money purse, and he would definitely deserve that, because not even Terence Crawford could beat Ricky Burns a 12-0 wipeout. Now of course the scorecards didn't read 12-0. One scorecard had it 116, 112, which that was very bogus. I wonder how much Eddie Hearn paid that guy. But I believe that Julius Indongo has a bright future. He's 34 years old. Many people consider him out of the prime, but I think he's in his prime. He had a phenomenal performance, and I would like to see where his career starts out next. I believe ultimately Indongo versus Crawford makes the best sense. Now Crawford, if he beats Felix Diaz, we can't overlook Felix Diaz. If he beats Felix Diaz, he will have to fight his mandatory maybe in December, but he will have to fight his mandatory Amir Ayman. That fight will make the best sense as well. But I want to see Terence Crawford actually fight somebody that would be taller than him, kind of like a Victor Postol, somebody that can use his reach, somebody that can box just as good as him. Now, is he better than Terence Crawford? No, I don't think he's better than Terrence Crawford at all. I think Terrence Crawford will still and always remain number one at the junior welterweight division unless somebody can come and take it. And right now, when matching up the names, Adrian Broner, Amir Ayman, you can still throw Adrian Granado's name in there. He's an underdog, but he's a good dude. Francis Barthélemy, when I compare these names, I just don't think that none of them will touch Terrence Crawford just yet. But I want to see more Julius Indongo. I want to see his skills. I want to see how he fights different styles. Ricky Burns, he tried to be the aggressor, try to come forward, but Julius Indongo, he used his height, he used his reach, he was the aggressor at times. He had Ricky Burns hurt. Could he put away Ricky Burns? No, but Ricky Burns never been put away. Now the flaws I see in Julius Indongo, the one big flaw I kept on seeing with him was that he doesn't know how to cut off the ring. And when he actually does get opponents hurt, he likes to get reckless and start throwing wild hooks. I think that's something that Terrence Crawford will definitely counter off of, because he showed in his fight in the summer with Victor Prosto that, hey, if you can't cut the ring off on him, he gonna dance around you all night and just outbox you. Now that's something he could definitely fix on. That's something I would like to see him fix in his next fight. But as far as that, Julius Indongo had a phenomenal performance against Ricky Burns. I was pulling for the underdog because I like seeing the underdogs win. I believe Ricky Burns was a slight favorite. I don't know how, but Ricky Burns had good fan base. What's next for Ricky Burns? I mean, I could see a fight with Ricky Burns and Anthony Crawler. I think that the only reason why Ricky Burns moved up the win for you is because he had a title opportunity. But a fight with Ricky Burns and Crawler makes the best sense. I can see a fight happening probably in Manchester. It may happen in Ricky Burns' place. It may take place in the O2 Arena, or with Eddie Hearn was saying that we very well may see Julius Indongo versus Davies. I don't know if you know him or not, but he's a good prospect. He fights with Matchroom Boxing. We very well may can see that fight as well. But as far as Julius Indongo's I think he passed the test as being one of the best champions at 140. And I believe that him and Terrence Crawford will definitely get it on. Alright, that was my post. Like and subscribe. Follow our group on Facebook and Lace them up MMA/boxing. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, comment on it beneath, and I'll debate with you. Peace. It's your boy Joe Martin. Lace them up boxing. Subscribe.